What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I am here to talk to you about the House of Ashes. So, I am a huge fan of the Dark Pictures Anthology. They have all been very good so far, and it seems like every entry in the series just keeps getting better. House of Ashes is no exception to that. I was mildly concerned with how they could top Little Hope because I was a huge fan of Little Hope, still am a huge fan of Little Hope, but House of Ashes just really absolutely brings it home. So, starting out, like right off the bat, you get the prologue, and you're in this kind of ancient history situation with some ancient warriors just slaughtering people, and then things go south pretty quickly, and you're running away from a beast, and you have to team up with your enemy, which becomes like the reoccurring theme here of the entire game. And then, of course, they die because they always die in the prologue. And then, boom, we're zoomed into 2001, Afghanistan, and you're in this Marine Corps. You've got all this drama going on. There's an affair. Eric King is the guy in charge, but his wife is also there, and she's messing around with one of the other guys. And then there's Jason and the supporting cast, and it just really sets you up for a really wonderful storyline. Like I said, there's drama, but it's good drama. It's not like exhausting, and it doesn't drag down the story. You land enemy territory, you get attacked by Salim and his crew. This game, for like a very quick moment, feels almost like a third-person shooter with the amount of combat going on. Supermassive Games really was able to make this feel like a different game than the other two, and that was a welcome change. This whole sequence up top before everybody falls down and you're just battling and fighting and fighting and battling, that was excellent. I loved it. And then, of course, you fall into the chasm. Crazy stuff starts going on. It just keeps getting better from there. I can't say enough about how happy I am that the vampires actually turned out to be real. I was afraid that the Dark Pictures Anthology was going to fall into like a Scooby-Doo formula of, you just kind of the monsters happen and then you spend the whole episode trying to figure out how it could have been faked, only for them to tell you how it was faked, and then you're like, oh my gosh, my mind's blown. So I was really worried that that was going to be the future of the Dark Pictures. So for them to make the third entry actually have real vampires, that was awesome. And of course, their vampires are completely original. It's not like some Dracula-esque or human-esque by any means creature. This vampire, as they call them, is like a bat creature that is just absolutely mortifying and absolutely cool, and probably the best touch of the game. The characters are absolutely stellar. They stand out. They are each their own individual. That was another huge plus. The cast of the previous two Dark Pictures games haven't been all that memorable, but the cast of this one was just absolutely excellent. Jason was probably my favorite character of them all. I loved his character progression, going from like that stereotypical I hate the enemy, borderline racist guy to siding with Salim, assuming you do all the things that are necessary to make that happen. The relation between he and Salim was just absolutely phenomenal. Salim is an absolute badass, just running through vampires like the king of vampire slaying. Like, what the hell? That dude was awesome. If I'm being honest, Nick and Ashley and Eric were kind of meh. They're mostly meh because they're wrapped up into that. I don't much care for love triangle in any sort of media, so they didn't really have that going for them. Like I said, the actual aspect of that story certainly did make things interesting, and it helped kind of add some drama to the story, so it wasn't just like this horror, scary story of people dying. There was some drama there, so that's fine. But at the end of the day, I didn't really like any of the characters just because I just didn't like the love triangle aspect of it. So I could, they could die and I'd be okay with that. I was really interested by the supporting cast. I think these games could really benefit from having a large supporting cast that comes back and actually like plays a role in the story later on. They kind of did that with Clarice, but for the most part, Joey and I don't even know the other guy's name, they die pretty early on, and then that's just all you see of them. Joey comes back as a possessed creature thing, and Clarice, of course, has a pretty big role. But I think they could have really benefited from playing off of those supporting cast members just a little bit more. By all means, having them there was a huge enough thing because the previous games, well, I guess in Little Hope, the only cast was the cast you played as, with the exception of the little girl. And then in Man of Medan, you had the extra cast of the 3 sailors, which added their own kind of dynamic to it, which was pretty cool. So all in all, House of Ashes is just an amazing game. Probably tied for my favorite Dark Pictures Anthology game. Just, I cannot quite give up Little Hope yet. I loved that story so much that it just keeps hitting me where it really counts. But House of Ashes is definitely up there. There are so many good moments in this game, so many good things going for it. Usually I just go on a crazy spoiler rant, but that more often happens with a game that I don't like. I don't want to go on a spoiler rant because I really think y'all should just play this game. Make sure to pick it up. If you haven't picked up any Dark Pictures games, pick them all up. Play them all. House of Ashes is a solid 9.2 out of 10. Like, the only complaint I might have was with the freeform cameras, but it's their first time doing freeform cameras, so I'm not really going to pick on that too much. But an absolute excellent game, thrilling ride, loved the monsters, loved the characters. It was replayable to the max. I'm on like my 7th playthrough. Go and play this game. Stop listening to me talk. Bye.